protects your hair. And when you have weave-ons and stuff, your hair gets stinky.
I would advise somebody, either you buy a shirt and a pant to church, because the Easter is not a long, I mean, it's only like 3 days. So it is better you go to church and worship God. Maybe because I'm a Christian, that's why I am talking in this perspective. But I think I would advise some gentleman to buy a shirt and the jeans and maybe a nice shoe for church.
In other stories tonight, 3 suspected armed robbers were Wednesday afternoon arrested in front of the state insurance company near Kanishi in Accra. According to eyewitnesses, the suspected robbers raided a forest bureau at Paplum near Kanishi. They were reported to have opened fire on onlookers, injuring 2 persons. A policeman on duty at the SIC who saved the situation had no option than to gun them down. The victims have since been sent to a nearby hospital for medical attention. Now, the Ghana Embassy in the United States has directed individuals wishing to travel to Ghana to apply for travel certificates instead of visas. This is a temporary arrangement, according to them, as they work to resolve the passport printing crisis that has rocked the outfit. The embassy has been unable to print passports for a long while, causing massive discomfort to Ghanaians and other travelers. The embassy has not yet disclosed the reasons for the failure to print passports. However, in a notice posted at its premises, the embassy said it was working around the clock to fix the challenge which had existed since last year. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon has called for bold climate action to be taken to combat extreme weather changes that have now become normal. Ban Ki-moon's warning comes as the world celebrates World Meteorological Day today. Here's a news desk report.
World Meteorological Day is annually held on or around March 23 to remember the World Meteorological Organization's establishment on that date in 1950. The theme for this year is hotter, drier, wetter, face the future. This, according to the World Meteorological, is to bring focus on the climate change that is disrupting the natural pattern of the seasons. The climate change, according to experts, is also increasing the frequency and intensity of certain extreme weather events such as heat waves, droughts, and heavy rainfall. In a message on the day, Ban Ki-moon noted that by responding decisively to the climate challenge, the world can avoid the worst impacts of climate change and lay the foundations of a world of peace, prosperity, and opportunity for all. Secretary General of the World Meteorological Organization, Petari Talas, disclosed that the Earth is already 1 degree Celsius hotter than at the start of the 20th century. On April 22, world leaders will gather in New York to sign the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement is to halt the increase in the global average temperature below 2 degrees Celsius.
And finally, over 750 Ghanaians living with cleft conditions have benefited from free reconstructive facial surgeries. This was provided by volunteer medical officers of Operation Smile, a non-governmental organization.
Cleft lip is a physical split of the 2 sides of the upper lip, which appears as a narrow opening or gap in the skin. There is also the cleft palate, which is a split or opening in the roof of the mouth. One could suffer from both cleft lip and cleft palate. Statistics indicate that about 400 children are born with cleft lip and palate in Ghana each year. In an effort to reduce the rate of people living with cleft in Ghana, Operation Smile, an international non-profit medical service organization, has organized free medical surgery for people living with cleft.
In the last 5 years, we have provided over 600 surgeries, but for this year, we want to provide at least 300 surgeries for the whole year, because there is a remarkable need in the society. So we feel that we are responsible to heal Smile. So we expect to heal the smiles of around 170 people next week when the mission starts. But before the end of the year, we want to reach at least 300 people. The next medical mission is next week from the 31st of March until 11th of April. and we aim to provide at least 170 surgery.
The group is, however, calling on the general public to assist in fighting the disease.
The show returns after this. Do stay with us. Welcome. So tonight we are discussing the Black Stars game against Mozambique, and there's a double header for the Black Stars. They play tomorrow and on Sunday, and well, the Black Stars must win this game. But of course, if you look at where Mozambique has come from, it looks like an easy peasy one for the Black Stars. Well, joining us tonight is Rahman Osman. He's a sports journalist with City FM. I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, and we'll be joined pretty soon by Fireman Songo. And we're talking about the Black Stars. But Rahman, I have to ask you this. I mean, we understand today that Asamoah Gyan picked up an injury, a thigh injury. So has he been ruled out from tomorrow's game?
Yeah, completely. And he's now fighting against time to make the second leg in Maputo that will be played on Sunday. But tomorrow's game entirely out. And it's a shame because Gyan had shown a lot of, interest in playing this game. I remember when we went to play Rwanda in Kigali. He was supposed to be part of the team also. It was an Afcon qualifier. He did all he could. He couldn't play just because of the same thigh injury. And it's beginning to show us a big problem for him.
What kind of training regime are they being put through? Because if he was fine yesterday and then he picks up an injury today in training,
Well, Gyan has actually had challenges with his thigh at club level even before he drew. Since he moved to China, I should say, he played 8 games for his club, Shanghai SIPG, after moving from UAE, where he was playing with Al Ain. And in 8 games, he scored 4 times. But that's a bit on the low side for a man like Gyan. He scored a lot of goals in UAE and in Ghana. So it's not just the training regime. But if you see what they are doing at the Accra Sports Stadium, it's not so heavy. Okay, so the first day, Gyan was in town already, so they had a light training session, a normal kick around, just to keep them busy. The second day, Grant had a full house. That's when the guys from the US and Italy all arrived. Right. So it was a bit higher. There was a bit of intensity in the training. That's where you saw them go around the pitch about 4 or 5 times. They came back, did the stretches, did ball work and everything. But it's normal. That's what we see under Everett Grant. He doesn't like to do a lot of vigorous training. What he likes to do is monitor players' body language, even when they are training. Yesterday, I was at the training ground. I saw Gyan. He looked very lively. And there was this part that, you have to kick the ball to the goalkeeper and run and go. Someone will swing in the ball and then you head. He was very lively in that one also. But this morning, again, after telling everybody that he's feeling very good in playing and everything, the care struck again.
That's pretty sad for the team, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously. When you lose Gyan, you just don't lose a player. You lose your skipper, you lose somebody who is the highest goal scorer in the history of this nation. Of course, taking into account the number of big footballers that have come out of this nation, Gyan is the highest goal scorer. He's the skipper of the side. And beyond that, he's the liveliest part of the team. And it's amazing. Again, if you're playing a team like Mozambique and you have Asamoah Gyan, just the name in there, it does a lot of work. So from that direction, it's a massive blow. Okay, and will that affect the team in any way? Not, yes, in psychological way, but in performance, we've got quality players. Jordan Ayew plays in arguably the most competitive league in the world, and he was the highest goal scoring Ghanaian last year. He's got 2 already. Gyan has got 2 in the ongoing Afcon qualifier, and that should really help matters also. Without him, Abdelmadid Waris, he scored already in the French league, I think 8 goals already this season, and he loves playing in France. When he arrived in Ghana, also him and we spoke, he said that it's been a bit of a long time since he scored for the nation. He's looking forward to getting an opportunity. I see that Gyan's absence will open that opportunity he was looking out for. So in performance, we've got quality players to be able to fit in and reproduce, maybe psychologically, because he's the skipper and a big name. Okay, and then there is also Christian Atsu. Yeah, Achi's coming back. So Achi's coming back from injury. He played 2 games for his club, Malaga, before coming down. He'll be looking for consistency. Achi has actually been one of the most consistent players at national level, yet he struggles to replicate that same form when it comes to club level.
Why though?
Yeah, because of injury sometimes and because of his diminutive nature. If you ask me, once Achi signed for Chelsea, I knew that the rigor of the English Premier League would require something special for him. When I speak of demeanor, some people will quickly point to one matter and say he's very short, very diminutive, he plays. But I think that Achi's ability outweighs what he's done in England at Everton and Bournemouth. And I think the physique is part. He went to Malaga in Spain. On the first day he scored, and his influence was immense. We saw him what he did in Ghana against, he did for Ghana at the Africa Cup of Nations. And I think that he will enjoy playing his football in Spain, in Portugal, in Russia, any other place apart from the English Premier League.
That's quite interesting, isn't it? Because when Achi was announced for Chelsea, a lot of Ghanaians were very, very happy for him.
It's obvious.
Yeah, but it's been quite a disappointment for him.
Yeah, that's sadly we've got to admit that his time at Chelsea he's even yet to kick a ball officially for Chelsea, but he was loaned out. He went to.
Would you say from hindsight that it was a good move?
Money-wise, yes. Football-wise, no. So depending on where you look at it again, it was a good move for a young man who had done very well in Portugal. And everybody wants to make the big step upwards. If you're playing in Portugal and a big club like Chelsea comes knocking, you want to take your opportunity and make it. The money is good. The opportunity to train with world-class players. The opportunity to eventually travel and play in the UEFA Champions. These are things footballers dream of, especially footballers coming from small African countries like Ghana and all that. So you can't actually blame the decision to make that move at that particular time. But it hasn't really turned out to be a very good move when you factor in the footballing factor.
Okay, now I want us to concentrate on the qualifiers, and when Songo will be joining us in a tad, then we can talk about the money issues, because it's also become a very big part of the discussion ahead of the game, whether we should be paying them the same amount for qualifying the qualifiers, and then when the tournament itself also kicks off, we'll be looking at all that. But I mean, Mozambique itself does not present any threat at all.
Not at all. I mean,
any cause for an upset at all.
It's difficult to see it. It's very difficult. Football, they say these days, it's very difficult to say this is a minnow.
Well, we saw how we struggled against Comoros.
Yes, again, a small, tinier island, we struggled to play them. But again, if you do all the science in football, it tells you that when you're playing against a side who's got a lot of determination, like Comoros had, it's always difficult to break them down. They played with almost 11 players behind the balls because, I mean, entire nation erupted when the Black Stars arrived in Comoros. That's expected. But when they came to Ghana, we outplayed them. We beat them by 2 unanswered goals. And the play overall was very, very dominating. And that's what we've come to expect when the Black Stars play a Mino. We saw what they did against Mauritius at the Accra Sports Stadium, 7-1. And that's the kind of performance when you meet Minos, you try to exhibit.
But even the Minos got 1?
Yeah, they got 1, but we got 7. These days, you don't record. That's like a basketball scoreline, 7-1. And again, beyond the result, the performance was very, very imposing. We actually showed our strength. Schlupp played very well on that day. Asamajan got a brace, Jordan, and you got the brace on that day. And also the defenders were like, okay, fine. It was an off day and everything. So that's virtually what we'll be looking at Mozambique. It's a small country if it comes to football. They've never played at the World Cup. Ghana has played at the World Cup. Most of the players are playing in South Africa, Portugal, and all. We have players playing in the English Premier League, in Germany, in Italy, in Spain. It's amazing. The wealth is it's very, very huge.
Okay. Now, Songo has just joined us. Thank you very much for joining us, Songo.
More fire.
More fire to you too.
More fire.
Yeah, you made it in time.
Yeah,
surprise, surprise. Anyway, it's good to have you here. But I want to talk to you about the players. I mean, what your expectations are as we go into this game tomorrow. I mean, everybody's, writing the Mozambicans off, basically. I've been listening to radio discussions since yesterday, and even you, at some point I heard you, and it doesn't look like we're giving these Mozambicans a chance at all.
Well, if you look at their records, especially in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, they are the bottom place side as we speak. They are yet to pick up a victory, and that tells you that they are struggling. If you look at Ghana, we've got a 100% record. We've won our first 2 games. So if you ask me what I am expecting from our players, a total performance, not only with results. But you see, why we hired Grant as the highest paid coach in our history. We give him a 50K. We think he's highly rated coach, Chelsea, West Ham United, Portsmouth, and a whole. The experience is deep. We want to see the team play to the delight of Ghanaians.
Have they?
In some patches, like when we went to Equatorial Guinea, a lot of people do not expect the team to perform to that yard because of what happened in Brazil. Credit to them, they went all the way to the final. When we played Mauritius, we beat them 7-1, and it was a delight to watch. I've seen the Black Stars actually put up comprehensive performance, and that's what we've got to see. Remember, Grant was employed to win the Afcon next year. The first one was go and do well. The next one is a must win, and if a team will win, you've got to see the template.
Do you see glimpses now?
Well, we're beginning the consistency in call-ups. You see, every team has got its nucleus. We are getting nucleus. The challenge is that the campaign of the team is getting injuries. It's understandable. When you grow older, your legs are not that stronger and fresher. But we want to see the replacement, the Jordan Ayus, the Warriors, step up. And that's why you bring in experienced heads like Grant. They understand the psychology of the game and all that. So it's difficult to tell from now. But again, football, even with 2 months to go, things change and change for the better.
Okay, Songo, I have to throw the same question that I asked him to you. You've seen the boys in training, and we're playing Mozambique tomorrow. It's a walk in the park for you as well?
They are training, but I've not seen them in training.
You haven't seen them in training?
Yes, but they are training. And I have producers who are monitoring
giving
them,
you information.
giving me information about them. And I'm hoping that they are training very well to be that serious, pressing football, hard football, fantastic football. They will show what they can do when we go for the Afcon, because we want to win it this time around. So, I mean, it should start from here. When you drop a player, or you call up a different player, or you include a player, we should see that telepathy in play. You understand? That blaster that we want to see, that yes, we can go to the Cup of Nations and be able to win the cup. So that is what we want to see from the Black Stars team. So playing against the Mozambique, I believe that, I mean, we have to see that, you know, that dedicated football, that pressing power football, and the goals should flow. I mean,
did you panic that Samajan may not be playing
I didn't panic because he's not fit. We understand. I mean, he's not fit from when he last played for us, then returned back to China. And I mean, what is performance now in China? Currently, I mean, how many times has he featured in China? You understand? So when he came down quickly, he has to declare to Ghanaians that, oh, he's fit now. I mean, what is happening? He's not fully fit, or he's not fit. So I'm not surprised. He's getting off the mark. So I'm not surprised. It's a matter of we giving the young chaps the chance. In the Matmautus, the Warriors, the Majid and Co. We have to, you know, give them the chance. They can deliver. But it's just a matter of, you know, we talking about someone, and I don't see anything. So I'm not surprised.
We are overly concentrated.
Of course. I mean, he's getting off the scene.
He brings on something very special.
Well, I'm saying, yes, the experience is there.
Yeah.
But when the fitness is not there, I mean, where comes the experience? You understand? The time that we need him most, I mean, he's not there. I mean, you go back to the last Cup of Nations. How many times did he feature for the Stars? You understand? Even in the final game, how was he that fit for that, you know, 90 minutes and the extra time? You understand? When it matters most and you need him to take a sport cake, he will tell you that Ghanaians insult him because he threw away our opponents.
You cannot blame him for that.
I'm saying that. So when you need him, you are saying that we need him. Yes, we need him. So at the time we need him, I mean, he says I can't take it. So why do we need him anymore? I mean, he's getting off the scene, and we have to understand that we give the young guys the chance so that they can also, you know, bang in the goals and deliver, and they can do it. It's just a matter of confidence that we need to give them. I mean, as a Mojan, when he started, it was the same. He was missing, you know, chances, throwing chances away here and there. And that is why I'm saying that when you don't give the chance that we give to Asamoah, we should give to other guys, you know, the Majid, Waris and co. They've shown that they are fantastic players.
But they've given the chance.
I'm saying that the much chance that we've given to Asamoah is not what we've given to the other guys. That is a fact, you know. Where's Mahatmotu? That boy, he's a good player. He's a good striker. We should give them the chance. They can run 90 minutes this time around. You understand? We give Asamoah the chance. I mean, here in Ghana, the Cup of Nations, a lot of chance that we've given to him. That is the same way we are expecting that the support and the chance we give to other players, so that when someone is not there, we will not be crying foul. You understand? Asamoah is injured, he's injured.
Well, but listening to Rahman, it doesn't look like, it almost looks like I'm the only one who probably panicked, because
I'm not panicking.
We've got worries, we've got Achu, we've got, he mentioned.
We don't have to panic. I mean, it's just that we are.
So others are being given the chance.
I'm saying that we don't have to panic. They should be given more chance. You understand? The support that we give to someone, we should give it to other players. That support, they should give those guys more chance. You don't have to panic. This is a Mozambique team that you have to go all out and beat them. And when you are beating them, you should be able to beat them by 4 goals, 5 goals, 6 goals.
Is it that easy?
It should be easy. I mean, though football has come of age, doesn't mean that you are playing Mozambique here in Ghana and you are going to let it be that difficult. Why should it be difficult? You want to go to Afcon and win. I mean, 32, 33 years now, we've not been able to win the cup. Look at taxpayers' money, the money that we spend when we are going for Cup of Nations.
Money very soon.
You understand? So, I mean, when you meet a team like Mozambique with no point in the group, and you are leading the group, and what do you have to do? You beat him 5-0, 6-0, 7-0. You should, yes, because it will justify the money that we are paying.
Okay.
We are paying big money to these players.
Your thoughts on that, his submission?
Well, I mean, I've got to, go with him when he says about giving chance to young players. I've seen a couple of coaches, especially when Kwesi Appiah was there, you know, the thinking was that Jan was growing older. I mean, after then he was around 28, 29. He's 30 now. Obviously, you can't expect him to play like he's 18. Or even 20. My challenge has been the approach. You see, when coaches come, they play to a particular formation. So now under Grant, it's difficult to, it's easy to predict who might start and who might not. So 4-2-3-1. Jan's style of play is quite different from the kind of strikers we have in the camp this way. So Waris, explosive, wants the ball to be played to his legs. He takes and shoots. Same of Jordan Ayew, got a lot of finesse, ability to take on defenders. Jan loves the ball to be played over him. He picks it like typical when we played Algeria. One pass from Wakaso, finds on his feet, he's got speed, and he finishes. Now, when you're playing Jordan and you're playing that same formation and style, you won't get the best from Jordan. So mostly, it's not about the change in personnel, because I've got to get the best out of Nanaba. How do I make sure that environment gets the best out of him? So when you put Waris in there, yet you play as if it's Jan. Waris is not a Jan. So that's the challenge. So if we are changing and looking at the future, Jan will never become 28 or even 22 again. That is where the forecast is. And that's where my challenge with the coach is. It's supposed to be not only against Mozambique. We come in a week before we prepare. No, we've got to start picking up young people, thinking of how to set up teams and play to the strength of every player. That's the mark of it. You think that is what he's not been doing? That is what the challenge has been with Ghanaians. If you look at his record, it's almost spotless. In fact, in 90 minutes, Grant has lost only once since taking over in 2014, December, when we went to the World Cup and came. I think he lost to Senegal in competitive games. Apart from that, even Ivory Coast, we lost to them on penalties. We've played the World Cup qualifier, African Cup qualifier, and we're yet to taste the defeat in that. But the general feeling is that we can get more from Grant. You've got to see the transition. Now, Germans are doing well because they don't build their teams on players. There's a system. And when you go in for a coach who's coached at Chelsea, played in the Champions League final, you expect him to put structures in place. That is where Ghanaians are complaining. Now, if you watch the league we've had here in Ghana, some of the foreign guys are beginning to shake. You know why? Yeah. Because they get the feeling that most of the guys here can compete for national team position. And when somebody's injured now, we don't have to pay a plane ticket for somebody in the US or Germany. We can easily call up somebody playing in the Ghana Premier League. That is the point, Nanaba.
Okay. Do you have the same challenge? You have the same complaint with the challenge he mentioned?
Well, I mean, I have just said what I want to say, and I believe that if you give other players the support, they will also play. The call-up itself, you understand? The call-up itself, because if Avram Grant is telling us that he's all over the place looking for players or monitoring players, we are also all over the place doing the same monitoring. We are also following him, and we know what is going on.
You don't have the same eyes.
Oh, come on.
He's got technical eyes.
I'm saying that we are all watching, we are all following, we are all monitoring. We all watch players, we watch matches. There are a lot of fantastic players in the scene. Go to the Europa League. Even if you know the Champions League, go to the Europa League. When you talk of the foreign-based players, a lot of Ghanaians are there. They are doing very well. So where are they? You understand? And you come to the local scene and the African continent. So, I mean, if he's doing the monitoring and he's doing selection to the national team, he should be for real. You understand? He should come that clear, because we want to go to Afcon and, you know, win this time around, not to just go and throw the taxpayers' money just away like that. No, it's not going to happen. We have to, at all costs, you know, break that gene.
So you're not entirely happy with his strategy?
Of course, I mean, for the way he's going about his selection.
As he put it, is
you see, that is one thing about Blasters. That is why we are. You see,
almost
our problem is, you know, we want to celebrate something where there's no achievement or there's nothing that to celebrate. You understand? Like, you know, you go for Cup of Nations, you place second and you want to, you know, celebrate. For what reason? We've been to Cup of Nations many times. We've been to second position many times. We've won the Cup 4 times. So when you play second, what have you achieved? That is our problem. Blasters, they go for tournament and they draw their first match, they lose the second match, they win the third match. That will be that crucial. Then they qualify for the quarterfinals. From there, no cup, and we celebrate. And we think that we have achieved something. That is our problem.
Because for a long time we hadn't placed second.
I'm saying that for a long time.
Yeah.
But how many times have we placed second? How many times have we placed second as a nation? 4 times champions. You understand? So there's nothing to celebrate.
But the ultimate for him wasn't to win the trophy.
There's nothing to celebrate. I mean, the ultimate is to win the trophy. You understand? So that's his task for 2017. That go and do well was just a matter of, you know, when you have some let's say a president who always want to look sharp on Ghanaians, and, you know, will come out with such statement because, you know, go and do what well. You understand? So you go there and you play second, you think you've done what? You've done well. I mean, your coach, Avram Grant, needs to expand his technical abilities when it comes to selection of players, the monitoring that he's doing. He needs to bring players on board. Okay. There are a lot of good, fantastic players. Our goalkeeping, our defense especially, our defense especially is bad. It's not good. Even the midfield you only mention names. But where are the passes?
They're not fluid.
Where are the passes? I mean, the passes, the piercing passes that will be. We need players. That is what Avram Grant needs to know, and he has to bring quality players, fantastic players, and he knows that we have players, we have talent. It's just a matter of truthfulness out of the selection. That's all.
Okay, now I want to go back to this doing well, because considering how much money we spent for that Afcon, and the deal was to do well.
It's bad. You see, you talk of considering how much that we have to spend for Afcon. I mean, how can you go Cup of Nations and you can spend like $8 million?
Is that how much they spent?
Or what did Ayariga say? What did Ayariga say? Ayariga, when he came back from the Cup of Nations, what did he say? before a minister, you are traveling with a team for Cup of Nations. You won't tell Ghanaians the amount of money you are going to spend. Taxpayers' money. What do you take us for? Then you go there, you come back and tell us that $8 million. But we spend more than $8 million in Cup of Nations. We spend more than $8 million. South Africa does this. Go and ask. We just throw money away. You understand? That is why I'm saying that Black Stars will draw first match, they will lose match second, they will lose third match.
Very consistent,
no cap, nothing.
I share in Songo's frustration, but you see, the issue about the duel came out of the circumstance in which we found ourselves. I mean,
what was the circumstance?
Yeah, the circumstance, what happened in Brazil, and how Kwesi Appiah had to leave the team.
Yeah.
Now, in that same space,
and you bring experienced coach like Grant and say go and do well.
We brought in Grant in December.
It's just years coach.
Cup of Nations.
Somebody who is
was in January. Now, to be fair on the man, even Jose Mourinho, when he was given back the Chelsea job, was given a time span to get the team to where the owner wanted it to be. When Man United were employing Louis van Gaal, they had fallen out of the UEFA Champions League. They needed a coach that would take them back to Europe.
It's been terrible.
It's
actually worse than
now he got them back to play in the Champions League. His performance in the league hasn't been that good, to be fair on him. But clearly there was a plan. You couldn't have told him that I was employing you at that time in December with 3 weeks to the Africa Cup of Nations
to go win
it.
Okay.
It can happen, but realistically, given the state of the team and what happened in Brazil, you needed, and you gave him a 2-year contract. So the challenge is that we'll hold you responsible for what happens in Gabon. By that time, you have done a lot of monitoring, you understand the culture, because when you're coming from Europe to coach Ghana, you're coming into a total different environment.
Right.
The people, the understanding of the game, their league kind of players, especially he hadn't even worked on the African continent. I agree that, listen, we've gone over 33 years without an Afcon trophy.
That's really painful.
But we need to win it in Gabon.
And you think it's easy to win in Gabon?
Can we?
It's possible. I mean, Ghana is favorite. It's not easy.
Ghana is favorite.
It's not easy, but
it's
very possible.
I think we're favorites.
No, unless you do your things well.
Well, that is why we have a plan. We have a path.
Because when you still have a free president who is all about money.
How is he about money? He's investing the money wisely
money for what?
In the game.
In the game. Where? Which part of the game? Which part of the department? Tell me, show me. You understand? Show me. You shares just
the local league is doing well. It's not dead. You're very passionate about the local league. You're very passionate.
You don't even have sponsors for the local league.
That doesn't mean he's not doing well.
He's not doing well. For that man, he's not doing well. 11 years, he's done nothing. What
really?
Does he? Of course.
Qualifying.
World Cup. Tell me that. Taxpayers' money. When I give you taxpayers,
did we qualify?
They didn't have enough money. They didn't have enough money.
Really?
Yes, I'm telling you. They didn't have enough money. They didn't. This money had everything.
What role did money play in getting us to?
Hey, you think you can? You think you can qualify so easy? World Cup qualifying, the first time you qualify to Germany.
Yeah.
My goodness. Then to South Africa, then to Brazil. Money. It is taxpayers' money, Ghana's money, the taxpayer. You understand? That is why we were able to qualify. I mean, look at the circumstances. The time we had to play Cape Verde with South Africa. Remember that qualify?
Yeah.
Quickly we have to come out and say $10,000 or whatever dollars for the players winning bonus. You think if it is not taxpayers' money, Ghana's money would have been at the World Cup? Please, forget it. You are doing local league, no sponsors, up to date. We are going match day 6.
That's his fault.
Whose fault? My fault. When you oh my goodness, you brought a Glow on board, $3 million or so, up to date. You are saying they are owing. You've not been able to retrieve back the money from Glow.
Due process.
They just walked out.
You cannot put a gun to their head.
Oh, fine. Where are they? They walked out. Now you go back again to First Capital Plus. They've also walked out. What is the problem? No legal terms, no legalities. What is the contract? What's the term of the contract? So before these things are not transparent, how are we going to attract sponsors for the local league? So when you are telling me somebody has done well in Ghana football, on what basis that you want to tell me that guy, that man has done well in Ghana football? What does it? I mean, please, I'm saying that if you don't change your mentality, you go to Afcon, you just waste taxpayers' money, because everywhere you go, you want to do honorarium or you want to do coefficient. That is what I'm saying.
Anyway, Rahman, before I take some social media messages, this issue about money, because every time you mention the Black Stars and there's a qualifier, in sight, the issue of money pops up once again. It's quite unfortunate that we always have to be talking about money alongside the performance of these players.
Now you understand me.
Which is very bad. You see, Songo made a point about the league. I think that whenever you vie into that direction, there's no way the FA is winning. There is absolutely no way. You see, that's
so what else should the FA do?
I mean, he makes a big. I mean, when you're playing a league with that sponsorship,
It's
a big challenge, especially
when you have a league that your teams cannot even compete in Africa, the Confederations Cup and the Champions League. When you have Ghana League. I mean, look at Ghana. We know football. We are a soccer nation. 4 times African champions and great players like Abedi Pele, Razak and co. We have the likes of Reverend Osekofi and co those days. So we are a soccer nation. So when you find supporters going to the stadium to watch their Kotoko and their Hearts, it is because Ghana, we are a soccer nation and they love their team. But what are you also adding up to make it more attractive? What are you adding up to make it more,
I'll ask you later. What
fantastic?
What should they add to it? What else should they add?
No sponsors, no money. No, you understand? You don't even have sponsors to even help the referees out. So then they are dressing. You understand? Look at the way they go about the officiating, bribe issues and those things.
Rahman was making a point.
Yeah, you see, I mean, you asked about the league, and you see, most of the times, a lot of people are driven to the English Premier League just because it is well organized and arranged. Now, listen, I'm a foreign media who's heard about the Ghana Premier League and comes to Ghana. I go to the stadium and players are wearing team jerseys, no ID behind them. How am I supposed to identify them? You go to a stadium to watch a game, 30 minutes before the game, officials are not even there. The kitting of the officials, the presses before the games, those are the hypes, compulsory. Now, when you go to UK, a lot of people will say, okay, so why are you in Africa? You're comparing it with the UK. It's simple. We want to get there. And to be able to get to where you want to, you've got to all the time calibrate where you are to where you want to get to. If you make presses compulsory, now the banter between officials before teams, it hives the game. It's very important.
But I thought last season they actually asked these clubs
to
do the process.
It's not enough accent because they do it at their own will. Now,
so they should be penalized for not doing the presses.
Of course. Now, when you do presses before games, it lightens up even the banter before the game.
Absolutely.
When players are well kitted, when facilities to play football are at that level, you don't only let players enjoy the game.
The clubs should also be marketing themselves.
Exactly.
Can the GFA do everything?
That is why everybody has got his... Even the media have our part. Now, let me tell you, since the Ghana Premier League started, we've been trending on Twitter, and that is the main reason why Bright Eje's goal has been nominated alongside Suarez's goal.
Yeah, I saw it on Fox Soccer.
CNN.
Yeah.
Because
and
the media ensure that the goals are tweeted with vines. International media watch and pick the best. That is as far as the media can do. Now, you as the FA will ensure that the basic salary for every club, if you want to own a football club in Ghana, should be this. If you can't be playing the league. But you can't hold them responsible if you don't get them a sponsor. They ask you, how much do I get for it? Those are the challenges.
Okay, let me take some messages and take a break. We'll come back and continue with the discussion because we are talking about Ghana, Mozambique. Okay, OSB says Countryman Songo is on a roll on state of affairs. J. Cole, Countryman Songo is right, but the problem is with government, not the GFA. Barak Bambuda says, Nana, Rahman is very right. You should see our referees. They look Okay, I'm not going to use that word. That's not charitable at all. But of course, he mentioned the issue of kitting for them. Ralph Dinko, no compromise, no complacency. Black Stars have no excuse this time. We must win. We are hungry for the Afcon trophy. Nanaba, please ask Raman and Songo if they think the Black Stars can win Afcon in 2017. I dare say that they will not even come close at all. They may not even be second. That's rather unfortunate from you. There are more messages here. Bismarck Ajari says he's tweeting from Cape Coast and he's very happy to see Songo and Raman together. His only problem is that the media men in Ghana are only interested in the Black Stars. Is that true?
Well, the Black Stars is the trump card for even a freelancer if you want to go internationally, because international medias are more concerned about the global stars. Now, the Black Stars is about the most attractive package you have from this nation. Take it. I think that the only thing we can compare from this nation to our Black Stars maybe might be our peace.
Oh, that's instructive. Songo.
Every country, the national team is important, but it is not that the Black Stars is the most attractive. And come on, those days when we were watching football, where was the Black Stars? You have a stadium for the Black Stars, full packed. People even not getting places to sit or to even stand to watch Kotoko and House of Folk. You understand? So it is not about, the Black Stars that has made Ghana, whatever.
But how do you react to that?
It is not true. I mean, when it is Black Stars, it is Black Stars. When it's under 17, it's under 17. When it's boxing, it's boxing. When it's the local football, it's local football. And who has made it? It is football people going and
this one too is a sport.
Oh, I mean, the attention all to the Black Stars, and what about the local league? I am saying that, listen, the one who is leading the football, his attention is on the Black Stars. So what do you expect from me, that I'm following the person? With the one with the blueprint, his attention is to make the Black Stars attractive.
That's not fair to the man.
It is more than fair. More fair. Listen to me. The one who is leading the football, his direction is the Black Stars. So what do I also do? I am following him.
You're trying to say
even
that
when
Mr.
I'm trying,
Nyantichi is not concerned at all whatsoever.
I'm saying that then,
about any other.
How attractive is the local league? We love our football. People will go and watch their houses and the court. I'm saying that you are not getting what I'm saying. I'm saying that how are we doing with our local league? Look at the Black Stars with a lot of sponsors. A lot of sponsors. Money goes to the Black Stars. A lot. So what about the local league? That is with all his skills, whatever that Ghana has made him achieve. What can he do to also help the local league to improve? You understand? So if we are not only, you shouldn't tell media men or presenters that they are doing Black Stars and they are not talking about the local league. When you come to my show, Fire for Fire, or you listen or you watch,
it's all about the local league.
What it's all about. How many minutes do I give to the foreign segment or the foreign news? I don't know them. If we just say it, because a place where you have to even go and take visa before you go. Why is it that I'm staying here in Ghana? I don't want to concentrate on my own.
Okay.
So it is not true. It is about the football people. You should go and tell the football people.
You are one of them, football people. You are also a football person.
Well, that is why I'm always keeping them.
Each time you talk, Raman smiles.
You guys got a lot of energy.
I know. All right, we'll be right back. Do stay with us. Well, you're welcome back. I'm still here with Rahman Osman from City FM and, of course, Songo Fireman from Multimedia. Multi-TV. Okay.
And Assam Perfect.
And Assam Perfect. It's all part of the multimedia,
yes,
right?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Anyway, so I want us to talk about Kwarase. Because the last time he was leaving, he brought up certain issues about the goalkeeper's trainer and what have you, and how he couldn't take it anymore. He had to go. What changed?
Well, 2 years. They say time heals all wounds, doesn't it? At least it teaches you how to live with them. Kwarase, before he left Ghana 2 years ago, has said he complained about Nasamo's credentials to train national team goalkeepers. I think he complained about Asamoah and John Boy also. He said that they said that he couldn't speak the local language and all that. But you see, what happens is that if your performance is that high, you actually want to play for your nation. Trust me, if you're playing in the United States of America, you can't compare that to playing for Ghana. That's the fact. Because when you're on the national scale, your value increases. Just ask all the top players that have played for this nation what it means to play for your national side. So I'm sure that, both have decided that, listen, we have a goalkeeper who is doing very well, maybe somewhere. He also thinks that the national team is that attractive that he can bury the hatchet. And I understand. I saw them train together on Tuesday. Nothing was missing. I saw John actually pointing to Kwarase to go that way, before he knew he shot to him and the other way. And that's the kind of spirit you get with football. Like they tell you, somebody, maybe Songo might not be my friend, but once we're in the same team and fighting for the same cause, you get that spirit and performance that comes from it. And they've said that they've kept that behind him. The player says he wants to play for his nation. The goalkeeper trainer says he's got nothing against him. And that's how it should be.
So the return is good for Ghana? It's
amazing. Every player of a Ghanaian descent that is doing well has got the right. Songo says we have players. We have them. Thousands. There's one on Man United, the club you support, Ofosu Mensah.
He's not a Ghana boy.
He's a Dutch boy.
If we go by that lane, Kwarase too, because he was born in Norway.
He's more Norwegian.
But he's playing for the Dutch team, isn't he? I think he's the captain for the under-21.
Yeah, but that's not national cup. But you see, if anybody
what do you mean he's not thinking about it?
If anybody hasn't
know you, Bobo.
Well, we did the same thing for Kelvin. The names can go on and on and on. Some will say that how did that end? Yeah. That's the challenge. How did that end us? But when you speak to the guys also, they have a different story to whatever happens or whatever happened in that direction. But I'm saying that...
But the challenge is that, if you have a Kwarase, we probably have about 4 Kwarases in Ghana.
That's the point, Nanaba. You see, my challenge is that when we make it a point to actually go out there and convince players to play for us, instead of...
Did we beg him to come back?
That's what the initial thinking was. I spoke to George Efriye on Tuesday, and I asked him that there's this growing notion that we actually had to go beg. The coach went there, which I am aware. Kwesi Nyantechi went there himself. I understand the goalkeeper's trainer was made to call him, which was utterly wrong if it's true, because it should be the other way around. It's supposed to be players who want to play. Because listen, no matter how talented you are, if you're not committed to a cause, it doesn't work. And that's one of the reasons why we've got 33 years. Leicester City in England is teaching us that, listen, it's not about the names, it's not about the money. How much was Mahrez bought? How much was Kante bought? Jeffrey Schlupp, Daniel Amate. But up until today, with 8 games to go, they are on top of the world's most lucrative league. It's the commitment.
Songo, Kwarase back.
Yeah, me, I'm not worried about whether he's back or he's not back. You understand? But you see, when you are not treating people in a fair way, that's how it goes. You have to be fair to each and everyone. That's how it should be. They are there, they are not playing, they are just officials, they are just management, and they are sharing coefficient money and eating, sharing money coefficient and choosing a place, please. They are doing selection. They choose players that they have to come to the national team. That is what these football people are doing. These non-Techian people and co. This Geography and Co. The football people. When I mention football people, this Blasters management committee people, they are there choosing
they choose
players.
For the
coach? Not because Abraham Grant is a white man. He's
doesn't matter.
He's one of the best coaches. I'm saying because because he's one of the name coaches in this world. Like his name is high out there. So what? These people, they don't care. They don't care.
So they are selecting the players.
I'm saying these people, they don't care. You don't know these people. They don't care.
So you are ungovernable.
No, you see, they are spoiling our football and they are spoiling our Blasters. That is because they are using their interests. They are foolish interests.
What would be the interest for the GFA president or his vice to choose players for
manage
the
footballer and see the money that comes out of it?
How?
When you are managing a player and the player is doing well, signing big contracts, and see the monies that come out of it. So when your player is playing for the national team, that is exposing out the player, showing the player all over the world, getting attracted to teams and agents and co, you will see how it is like. So everybody will fight for his player to be in the national team. You understand?
Okay.
Why would even...
That is normal.
It's normal, but we should seek the success first. I don't have a problem when somebody is playing football and they are paying even the player. But my problem is, where is the cap? At the end of the day, where is the success? You understand? You always go and you use the name Blasters and you don't bring anything. But you are always enjoying the taxpayers' money. That's my problem. So when you are talking about Kwarase is back, you should treat everybody fair. That is all. Maybe he felt peeved. He felt some pains. Like he's not being treated well. You understand? And you yourself, you've gone back again to whether beg him or whatever. But there are a lot of players. There are a lot of goalkeepers. Even our number one, ask yourself, should he be the number one?
Which number one?
Our current number one. Should he be the number one? You ask yourself. Our number two, is he the number two? You ask yourself. You have players in the Blasters, they are not good players.
Like who?
They are not good players, they know themselves. We have players in the Blasters, they are not good players. It's opportunity. You understand? By somebody's effort, not their own effort. That is why they are there.
But the coach says he's been monitoring them.
Oh, forget about monitoring. I'm saying forget about those type of monitoring, and you think you are doing a fair selection and those things. We all been doing the monitoring. You monitor players with your phone, your iPad, your TV, whatever. We all do monitoring. You understand? So I'm saying when they are there at the national team, you need to treat everybody fairly. It's simple. He felt peeved, and now he thinks he's okay. Fine, he's back again to the national team. You look at the goalkeepers. Yes, they are all up to. But to me, there are a lot of fantastic goalkeepers which...
In the local league.
In the local league, there are a lot of fantastic goalkeepers. Even that Ofori boy can be the number one goalkeeper. That boy can be in the national team. He can keep the goalpost, but they won't give him the chance. I'm telling you, he can keep the national goalpost. Simple. I mean, they will tell you his experience, how many times has he been in the national team or the goalpost for the national team. But ask yourself, those goalkeepers that are in the national team, how many times? Where did they start? You understand? So selection to the national team is not fair. That is the issue. That is why players will be criticizing. Players who can even talk, when they talk, then they are using them as scapegoats. They are walking them away. They are firing them away and those things. So your management committee, your football people, they are the foolish people who not doing things. Before due respect, I'm saying, before due respect, I'm saying they are doing those foolish things in the national team.
Not foolish people.
I'm saying they are doing, when you are doing foolish things, you are. When you are doing foolish things in the national team and it's not letting the national team progress, you are.
That's what I'm saying. Foolish things,
then they should do the right thing. It's simple. They should do the right thing.
I apologize for that comment from Songo.
Well, I did.
Because I know you won't apologize.
I am not. I have not said anything bad. I said when you are doing foolish things means that you are being foolish. That is all.
Okay, Rahman. He talks about this Ofori guy. You've seen him?
Oh yeah, Richard Ofori. He's considered one goal in 5 games.
Oh wow.
He was the best goalkeeper in the Ghana Premier League last season.
So why are we not giving him a chance?
Well, I think they are...
Or the coach hasn't seen him?
Well, the coach has possibly seen him. That's why he's giving him a call-up. Okay. In fact, Oforienchi started coming to the Black Stars.
But we know he's not going to be imposed tomorrow.
Well, at a point in time, there's only one goalkeeper that is going to be imposed. If I'm to select my first 11, I'm sure it will differ from your first 11.
Absolutely.
And so would Songo. I agree with him when he says we have fantastic goalkeepers in the Ghana Premier League. Muntari Tego, Mediama, Mozata JT now with Dreams FC, Ihim Richard Ofori, which now there's another wonderful goalkeeper at Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Eric Oforienchi. In fact, Kotoko have now their first choice goalkeeper, Enesua, was part of Ghana's team that went to Equatorial Guinea last season. So as for goalkeepers, we have them plenty, just like midfielders. You see, we've called for the inclusion of home-based players in the national team. If you run through the number of times we've picked up an Africa Cup of Nations trophy, mostly it's the home players that really, really dominate. Now, let me take you back to Nigeria. When Nigeria won the Africa Cup of Nations in 2013, the player who scored the winning goal, Sunday Imba, was then playing in the Ghana Premier League. Yet there were was playing in the Nigerian Premier League. Yet there were a lot of internationals in there. So the issue about having home-based players is key, not only for development and enriching your local league, but it has been proven per the history we have that
it works.
You need to add. And now I think the coach is seeing that. Now, first we used to have only one, Fatah Dauda. Now we have Richard Ofori.
Who's been dropped?
He's been dropped. We have Richard Ofori as the goalkeeper. We have Samuel Tete from West Africa Football Academy. And then Evans Mensah.
So it's an improvement.
It's an improvement.
Okay. Now let's talk about the bonuses. Songo.
There's no problem anymore. There's no problem. Oh, there's a problem. There's no problem. There's no problem. They understand what they are going to receive. It will be in cedis, and it will be $5,000. So somewhere roughly 200 million Ghana cedis. Very huge money.
For the entire team?
No. Each person, 5,000.
$5,000 is not 200 million. Is it 200 million?
It's not 200 million.
20,000 cedis.
20,000. 20. Yes. So let's say 200 million.
We know.
Yes.
Let's live in that times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is how it's going to be. You understand? And that is a huge amount of money.
You think it's
very
unnecessary?
It's very... If it had stayed somewhere like 60 million or 80 million, maybe close to 100 million, not bad. You understand? As winning bonus. We are going to pay in cities. And I'm happy now they understand that is what the nation we have for them. And, it's a nation that I've called them.
Are we paying them cash?
Well, for now, we'll give it to them here. So if it is by cash, fine. If they have to wire, no problem. You understand? But it's all about the understanding that, we have to pay 10,000, we have to pay 5,000, we have to pay 7,000. When the national...
Why has money become such a critical
part of the discussion? It is them and their leaders. If you have a good leader, it will not be issue. If you have a good leader, you have a good football leader, football president who is a good leader, who has vision, good vision.
Pesanyate, she hasn't got vision.
Oh, come on.
I listened to him when he won the FA
cheap
Cup again.
Cheap talk.
And he has a vision.
He has cheap talk. Tell him to bring his blueprint. He has none.
But you're the one who sat here and said he has a blueprint.
I'm saying that they should follow it then. I am saying they should have it. They don't. This man. Oh, come on. Listen to me and listen to me carefully. When you have visionless leader, that is how the blasters will go. They will go wayward, slapping people.
You didn't talk about it on the show, did you?
I didn't talk about what?
The slapping.
Oh, come on.
Did you?
That is nonsense.
Did you talk about it?
It was so nonsense. It was so annoying and so nonsense.
Why?
I mean, how can you slap an elderly person? Why should you do that? Because you have visionless leader. Somebody who is leading the team he's visionless. He doesn't know how to manage. Yes, your FA president, he doesn't know how to manage them. So he's visionless. I'm telling you, he is a problem. He is a problem. When you
he asked your captain to go and slap somebody.
I'm saying when you have a correct leader, the captain will not go and slap somebody. Oh, you're talking about just the recent slapping. That is up to them. They are covering it up. But you see, we as a nation, we have to be very careful that you just can't have a captain whose name is all over the place and not in good ways. Always problems and problems and problems. So you don't have good leaders. That is, it comes back again
to
that
leadership.
Leadership. Yes, leadership, because today we are going to take 1,000. The next day we are going to take 2 million. The next day we are going to take 1 million. The next day we are going to take 100 million. I mean, where is your leader? So can't the leader stand up and say to the boys that the nation has called you? It's a privilege. It would help you to, show your talent. It will help you to get good teams to play, get money. You understand, in your career. So when the nation calls you, it's a big privilege. You need a good leader to stand up to tell the boys, but not a good leader who will share coefficient and even will not be able to present the names of the coefficient and signature. You understand? There is no signature to it. So where lies the players doing the right thing? So they will always be complaining about money. We want this. We will take this. We want that. We will take this.
They're
when you are
taking
playing
advantage of the system, and it's not about Mr. Nyantichi.
And the system,
not
fire burn the system. We are clearing it off. We are firing the system off. Now we are saying.
You don't think you're being unfair to Mr. Nyantichi?
Oh, please. Why is it that when I'm talking about football and he's the head, we mention his name, you ask me I'm being unfair? When electricity, let the light go off right now, you say, Mahama, you.
Oh.
If the light should go off right now, you say, Mahama.
Raman, please come in now.
So we are paying $5,000. Even that one is even big. It should have been $2,000.
Yeah, I think 5,000 is a bit much.
But it should have been $2,000. This $2,000 or $1,005.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
More fire.
Well, whoever took the Black Stars bonus to $10,000 did a great disservice to this nation. Whoever shot it down.
You see, Roman, at that time they said because we were going to qualify for the World Cup for the first time, whatever.
Yeah.
That was when we were playing the Cape Verde, the South Africa people. So after you have to revert back. And after now.
And you see, once they tasted and saw it was they wanted to bite and continue biting. But I've seen ministers come in first. Oh, we can't sustain that. They end up leaving. Some of them even paying more.
Van der Poel is talking big.
Well, I've heard. That's what I'm saying. I've heard people. In fact, before him, Ayariga did, Mustafa did. He's now in the same thing. We can't sustain it. All of them, I have lived and seen all of them complain about it. Yet they leave still paying, and so there's supposed to be a problem. As for paying players, playing for your national team is always a privilege. That is certain. In fact, even when you speak to some of the players, they tell you that, oh, I want to play for my nation. Now, let's assume that you are already giving them 10,000 and you want to bring it down to maybe 5,000. The dialogue should not be in the media. I think they get it wrong from onset when they try to test the waters through the media. Now, I have had some privileged discussion with high-ranking member of the ministry, and some of them, at a point in time, everybody agreed that, listen, we can't pay 10,000. Let's reduce it to 5,000. They pushed it out to the media, and the media sent it out. And the minister's job was on the line to a point that they had to continue paying 10,000. What stops them? I mean, just pick some of the key men. Pick Jan, pick Andre, pick Wakaso. Move them up to the big man. Listen, this is the current situation of the nation. We understand this was what we're paying. Even before the media will know. This has been settled.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it in the media, we'll go and come. Ministers will go and come. Government will change and come. And we'll continue coming to sit there.
So it comes back to the issue of leadership you raised.
Exactly. And the management.
Baby girl, you know I'm not. Oh, baby girl, I'm not.
Sometimes.
My baby girl.
Anyway, so before we've got only 2 minutes to go. Songo, your prediction, would you?
Against
Mozambique, 6-0.
Wow. Oh, it should be more than that.
More than 6?
Yes, you know, when you meet a country,
You're not playing with Teletubbies.
No, you have to be able to beat them. You have to. I mean, that is football. You see, when you can beat the person, you should beat the person. That is beat the person convincingly. You can beat the person. You want good football, pressing football, power football. You understand? You claim your boys are better off than Mozambique players. when it comes to even international wise.
Well, they don't claim. It's a fact.
Oh, fantastic. So you beat them. So you meet them, you beat them. 7-0, 8-0, 9-0, 10-0, 12-0. Continue.
So no, Ramon.
Don't stop. I'm serious.
Well,
you don't come to Accra Sports Stadium with this $5,000
Will
given
we
to
fill
you.
that stadium though?
well, it looks
The
so.
Accra Sports Stadium.
Oh, well, even if it is not filled, the supporters will be there.
Okay.
And you don't come there and come and play, any soft football anyhow.
It should be pressing.
It should
Ramon.
be pressing,
It should
fantastic
be.
football.
But
And we need a goal.
Okay.
I'm looking at early goals and a convincing victory. Now, why I want early goals is that there are some young players, like Evans Mensah, who was called from Inter-Allies. Now, if we're able to get early goals, the young guys, Samuel Tete, Evans
can
Mensah,
come in.
can come
You
in
should get
and have
early
a
goals.
taste of...
You should be there.
Early 12, 11.
15, 17.
Thank you very much, Ramon Osman from City FM for joining us this evening. Songo, more fire to you.
Baby,
When did you
more
start
fire.
wearing spectacles? I love them. They look really nice.
Thank
And
you
it's a
very
designer.
much. That's my baby. More fire.
All right, thank you very much
More
for your
fire.
time. We'll see you tomorrow.